Morning, everyone. We're a couple of minutes late, but due to technical difficulties, but I think we're good to go now. Thanks to everyone for being here. We're a little light on the attendance in the audience, but seems like we got all the other officials here to carry on business of Pulaski County Fiscal Court. Certainly glad to see everyone, but first of all, we'll do a moment of silence, and then I've asked Mr. Ranshaw to lead us in the pledge. Anyone have any comments or prior requests, anything to bring forward?
The situation in Texas with the flooding and over 100 lives lost.
It's a terrible tragedy for sure. Anyone else? Seeing none, I'll ask you to bow your heads in a moment of silence, and then Mr. Ranshaw will lead us in the pledge. Thank you. Everyone please stand and face the flag.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First order of business would be to approve the minutes from June 23rd fiscal court meeting. Everyone has a copy in front of you. You've had a chance to look at it.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Ranshaw to approve the minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turpin. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion passes. Going into old business, I need a resolution. I think we have a resolution in front of everyone, and maybe a cover page for our bridge on Old Shopville Road. We did get the funding for that, and now we need to do a resolution in court for me to sign an agreement and some paperwork moving forward. I do want to say a few words about that. It's a project we've worked on for a long time, and I want to thank the fiscal court, the magistrates, especially our state delegation of state representatives and our Senator Girdler for the work they've done on it. It's been a long process back and forth with the state, making sure we had all the drawings right, the design right. It's a bridge there below the Shopville Elementary School that's been restricted down to 2 tons. No school buses can be on it, and it's a bad state of repair, but the state awarded us $886,635 for the project. So we do want to thank state government for doing that. We've talked to the state transportation department several times, District 8 down here. They've all done what they need to do, and we need to do in cooperation with them to make this happen. So we really appreciate them moving forward with it. I've talked to the contractors, I think, that are going to do it. We'll probably have to do a bid awarding at the next meeting, but we got some paperwork to send back to Frankfurt on it. But I look forward to getting that project started. It's going to be a great addition to that community and open up that school access a little more going down to Mark Wilburn and highways, roads, county roads that direction. A big project for the county, but when you get $900,000, we need to be thankful to a lot of people for that. So I would need a motion to accept this resolution to move forward with the paperwork. It's probably going to be another 3 to 4 weeks before we start the project, because it's going to take a while to get back and forth with Frankfurt to get the paperwork moving. But the first step would be to approve this resolution moving forward.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Ranshaw to approve and
Second.
second by Mr. Wilden. Any discussions or comments on this project?
Like I said in my post, I really do appreciate everybody's help on this. It was a 3-year process of applying with federal grants, and now the state stepped in and helped us out. JJ and his team locally really did a great job to support us, and all the state representatives and senators, they did a great job, and I really do appreciate it, because it was a needed repair that needed to be done.
Any other comments? Motion on the floor to accept this resolution. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion passes. Thank you very much. We need to approve a concrete bid we had opened last court meeting from Triple Crown on the concrete. First of all, it was bid out, but nobody turned in a bid for the concrete itself, the material. We had to rebid, and we got one bid in from Triple Crown, and it's the same as they had last year. So I need a motion to approve that bid.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion, second by Mr. Turpin. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That one is approved. I want to add one just here that on the road, we had a couple of masters to look at Linwood Road out on the western end of the county, taking 3,872 feet of it out, and I think 2 magistrates have looked at it. So I need a motion to have advertise for a public hearing on removing that 3,800 feet of it.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Ranshaw for a public hearing on Linwood Drive, or Linwood Road, and a second by Mr. Strunk. Any comments or questions on that?
We need to just make sure that they know that it's still a public access road, because there's a farm and a graveyard at the end of that.
Right.
That enters into another county.
Okay,
And I didn't see any other access from the other side.
okay. It does, it does end up in Casey County, so all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion passes to have that advertised for public hearing. In new business, we have special purpose vehicle ordinance. We're still working on that. It has to do with a bill they passed. I know Tim has mentioned it to me several times. Legislature passed a bill, Senate Bill 63, that allows the ATVs to use county roads, and it is an ordinance that we have to rewrite or have provisions in it. Can you expound on that a little bit, Chastity?
I can. So basically, the statute makes the ordinance an opt-in ordinance. It's not something that automatically subjects Pulaski County to that. So as a fiscal court, you have to prove to opt in to allow the special purpose vehicles to be legal. So the ordinance is we have a schematic that Keiko kind of provided here, but certain things still have to be worked out, like if you want to put any limitations on roadways that you don't want them to allow them on, or specify which roadways you do want them to be allowed on. So that still needs to be worked through. Those vehicles will still have to be equipped with safety features. They have to be registered. I think it said it was like $10 a year. They have to be insured, and they have to pass inspection in order to be operated on the roadways as well. So we have the basic schematic, but you guys will need to take a look at that and see exactly what you want to allow.
Does operators have to have a license?
They will still have to have, I believe, a driver's license to operate it on the roadway.
So children can't drive them?
No. And they'll get registration plates in the form of a motorcycle registration plate that'll go on the vehicle as well from the county clerk's office. And there's a particular form. I think they said the sheriff's office may already have that form on the inspections.
Now, are they currently allowed to drive on state roads?
That, I'm not positive.
Because I heard something, and
All
Tim
roadways
can,
except limited access highways.
huh?
All roadways except limited access highways in Pulaski would be Cumberland Parkway.
So,
It's up to fiscal court, but all highways are acceptable unless fiscal court deems not to be acceptable. But anything but limited access highways, which would be Cumberland Parkway.
So, is the clerk currently, Tim, are you already issuing licenses for?
We are.
Okay.
And
So-
the reason we went ahead and did that, the County Clerk Association decided, because some areas have done approve these things, so people will be going to those areas to ride. So we wanted to go ahead and make it available to anybody that wanted to take their over to Eastern Kentucky or wherever. But here, the ordinance, like you said, has not been fully addressed, and it'd be up to the court how they want that to read.
So should we have a hearing to get local inputs before we make a decision on whether to, because I know you get all kinds of calls and everything about golf carts and four-wheelers and everything else on county roads causing
And it's
problems.
it's a very limited number of vehicles this applies to. Golf carts don't apply. ATVs don't apply. The only thing that applies is UTVs, the ones that are roll cage safety, seat belts. turn
Doors.
sig-
Doors, they have doors on the side? Yeah.
Just the safety features like that. I don't know how critical that is. Bobby could probably tell you a little bit more than that. But it's not gonna just open it up to where you're gonna see four-wheelers and all this stuff out on the highway with the tag on it. It's very limited to the ones that will be able to have a tag.
Thank you.
So we're just working on that. It's work in progress, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll have something written up. And if the magistrates want to have some input on this, or the public, they need to notify us, and because we're going to be working on the ordinance, and hopefully we'll have something to pass at the next court meeting. Next would be the opioid settlement funds. This is something we're going to have to go into executive session for at the end of today's meeting to discuss that. There've been some more awarding of funds, and to make that where we have to sign on to these agreements, we'll have to discuss that, and then we'll come back in a little bit later to make that motion. Take care of that. That's my legal counsel advised me this morning. We move to department reports. I'm going to drop down to the bottom, and Brian, I need for you to step up and talk about fleet maintenance on a selling of a trailer or purchasing of another trailer.
Good morning, y'all. We'd like to ask permission to purchase a lowboy trailer for hauling our excavator. And then, once we buy it, we'd like to sell our previous trailer that we're using to haul it on.
We've discussed this. I've discussed it with a couple of magistrates. We have a trailer now that is serving the purpose, but it has a metal deck, and
Yes.
it's a little bit higher in transport than a lowboy is, and it's a little bit of a danger to transport our excavator, which is has a lot of height on it, and it's hard to hold on a metal deck with metal cleats. So
Yeah.
we're looking at purchasing one that has a wooden deck. It's a little bit easier to tie down. So we're hoping to do an even trade. The one we're going to sell is probably going to bring as much money as we need to buy on the lowboy. So need a motion.
Motion to buy the trailer and then sell the other one?
Motion by Mr. Strunk and a second by Mr. Wilden. Any more discussion on this? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. And we'll go back to the top on the road department with Wayne.
Morning.
Morning, Wayne.
I'd like to ask for 4,000 gallons of patch oil.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson. Second by Mr. Turpin to purchase 4,000 gallon of patch oil. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
I'd like to ask for 6,000 ton of rock.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wheeldon. Do I have a
Second.
2nd by Mr. Strunk. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion passes.
And then I'd like to ask for the road list.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Wilson to accept the road list and a second by Mr. Renshaw. Any discussion on the road list? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Road list passes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Wayne. Next up would be finance, Ms. Carissa.
Looking for approval of the July bill list.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wheeldon to approve the
Second.
bill list and a second by Mr. Strunk. Any discussion on the bill list? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion passes.
Then I've also got a couple of fund transfers that total $1,204,000.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw, second by Mr. Strunk.
Can you itemize those for us?
1.2 million going from general fund to road allotted for paving, and then there was a grant that was deposited into the fire department, or the fire fund, and it needs to be transferred to the general fund for, it was a waste tire grant.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And then I have one other thing. They've changed the legislation on electronic payments, so I would like to request approval to be able to pay utilities and loan payments possibly via electronic payments. That's something that they've just done here recently to allow us to do that.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw to allow electronic payments. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Strunk.
Do
Any
we,
comments or questions? I know we'll have one.
do we have to add that to our admin code?
We probably could, probably should. It's actually probably more of a question.
I'm just thinking that's probably a section in the admin code that tells us how we're allowed to pay.
Carissa, can you explain any more in depth about what is payment with the e-payments? What does that entail?
It could be like an ACH or an electronic check, or possible payment with debit card or credit card. But I would just want to allow or ask permission to be allowed to do it for utilities or loan payments, things that are on the standing order, not just for everything.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Any other business to come before the court?
I do, sir.
Front and center, sir.
Morning, folks. Real quick, because we won't have a meeting until the deadline about runs out July 23rd. July 23rd is going to be the last day that you're going to be able to file for help with FEMA. It doesn't mean that the clock is completely shut off, but after that point, it gets a little more problematic. You have to make phone calls and jump through a bunch of hoops and things like that. So the Disaster Recovery Center is still open. It's been there for a while. So I checked with them on Monday, and still had a fairly steady stream of folks coming in and going out. We also have the Small Business Recovery Center out at 914, not getting anything out there at all right now, and we're contemplating shutting that down. We probably will make that decision next week, but the date I want folks to keep in mind is 23 July of this month. It's going to get a lot harder to get help from FEMA and from small business, so citizens of the county do need to know that. And like I said, that SBA facility is probably going to shut down sometime in the next 10 days to 2 weeks. So again, if you have, and keep in mind, SBA does do homeowner stuff, not just business. So if you need specific help, it would be fine to come out there and speak with those folks.
Are you hearing anybody complaining about getting denial notices from FEMA?
So I put a pretty good post out on that, Mr. Magistrate, and what's happening is a lot of folks are getting the initial denial letter, and they're not reading the entire letter. And 8 times out of 10, if you read the entire letter, a lot of it is, we're not denying you, we need further information. Come back and see us, give us a phone call, bring the denial letter in. But a lot of folks, unfortunately, they're seeing, denied, and they're crumpling the letter up and tossing it, and they're not getting the entire context of the letter. And so what I'm encouraging folks, and I posted this out on multiple sites, is make sure you read the entire letter. If you've got any questions at all about that, give me a call. Give me a call over at the EOC or give FEMA a call.
When was the last time you did that?
I posted that right before I went to Florida. It would have been a week and a half ago.
Okay. Can we do another post on that?
I can make that
And see if
happen.
the county can put it on the county's website?
We absolutely can
Or
make that happen, sir. No problem at all.
And if the newspaper can, because that's important
Yep,
because,
absolutely. 100% agree. We'll make that happen again.
okay, thank you.
Anything else?
Has most people took advantage of FEMA?
We've gotten a really good response. The last set of numbers I saw as of last Friday was they've had over 2,500 visits. Now, of course, repeat visits, they count the same, but it's still over 2,500 visits. They're averaging between 7 and 10 people per day still, even though the DRC's been open for coming up on 2 months. I requested an extension for the DRC. It would have closed on the 23rd of June, and I asked for another 30 days and was given that. And I will keep them here as long as we see fit, and as long as they're getting a good turnout, I want to go ahead and keep them here. I want to make sure, again, that every citizen in the county has an opportunity to get all the help that they can possibly get and need. But at some point, sir, we will obviously have to allow those folks to go on. We have the situation in Texas, and now the situation on the Gulf or on the coast, and they're getting a little stretched, a little thin, so they're going to start pulling back to areas of more need. So that's why that 23rd date becomes so critical, because we may lose that direct access sooner rather than later.
One other thing, can you also post about the SBA for homeowners and renters?
I put it out, but we'll put it out again.
Yeah, just give them one more opportunity.
We'll do it, absolutely, sir. Happy to do that. No problem at all.
Thank you very much.
Not a problem, sir. Anything else? Okay.
Thanks, Chris.
Yes, sir.
Any other business to come before the court?
So I'd like to talk about the property taxes.
Yes.
No, I don't know if you guys are getting a lot of calls, but I am about the assessment of the property taxes going up so high. I'd like to let everybody know that this body has nothing to do with that. We don't assess the properties and all that. And I've had some people want to know if we could set it up where they could pay their property taxes monthly. They went up so high that they can't pay them just at one lump sum at the end of the year. I don't know if we have anything to say about that or anything, but would that might help some people? I don't know, but
I would like to see us do official resolution against the excessive increase in property taxes. I know as far as this court is, if you look at your tax bill, we got one of the lowest tax rates of everybody, 4.4 cents per $100. That means if you got a $100,000 home, you're only paying this county, $44. A lot of it has to do with the schools, library, extension office, but as far as what we received is a very minimum cost of that tax bill.
a lot of people think we get it all, but the school gets almost 70% of it.
So I think we ought to put out a resolution. I mean, I seen them, mine just got reevaluated last year, and I swear somebody was coming through my neighborhood taking pictures of all the homes again. I seen somebody with a camera stopping at every house taking pictures again, and it was just evaluated. So wouldn't be surprised if mine goes up again this year.
You're famous, Mark.
Yeah, but just so everybody knows, our tax rate is like the third or fourth lowest tax rate, the county portion, in the entire state. We do keep it down as much as we can possibly keep it down for everybody on our part. So, but I think a good resolution, approved by everybody would do a little good to show the community that we are against all this higher evaluation stuff that's going on.
Sounds good. Let us work on a resolution then, and we'll try to have something ready for the next meeting. Any other business to come before the court? We'll drop down to citizens' comments. Are there any citizens here that would like to speak to the court? Seeing none, I'm going to ask for a motion to go in executive session.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson. Have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Strunk. All in favor of going into executive session, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We will be in executive session for only a few moments. You're welcome to stay, and then we'll be back out shortly. Need a motion to come out of executive session.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson, second by Mr. Whitman to come out of executive session. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are now back in regular session of Pulaski County Fiscal Court. We discussed very briefly on opioid settlements. There's some new settlements coming down the road, so Chastity, one at a time.
That's correct. It's regarding the opioid litigation settlement funds. There's three things that you all will need to vote on separately. The first one is to vote yes on approval for the Purdue Pharma and Sackler plan.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Wheeldon, second by Mr. Strunk. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
The second thing you'll need to vote on is to sign the governmental entity settlement agreement as a part of this litigation as well.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw, second by Mr. Wilson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes.
And the last one is to participate in the joining of, I believe there's 9 additional defendants in a separate settlement. So it's to agree to participate in joining those 9 defendants as well.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw. I need a second. Second. Second by Mr. Turpin. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And the motion passes. That is all of that. All right. Need a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson and a
Second.
second by Mr. Turpin. All in favor, will stand adjourned. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.